Behind the towering emerald hedges of Hollywood's last great king lies a hidden sanctuary, a 3-acre retreat where silence hums louder than fame. Here, a tranquil Zen pond glimmers with water hyacinths and canyon breezes drift through the stillness. Inside, the warm glow of a private hillside screening room flickers, the perfect refuge for the man who turned madness, mystery, and charisma into art. Today, we step beyond those gates to explore Jack Nicholson's secluded world, from his fortress-like Hollywood Hills compound to his eucalyptus-lined Malibu retreat and quiet Shasta County escape. You'll also glimpse his understated car collection and his staggering $150 million art empire. But before we unlock his sanctuaries, let's rewind and uncover how Jack Nicholson became Jack Nicholson. Jack's life reads like one of his own screenplays, layered, unpredictable, and full of emotional plot twists. Born in 1937 in Neptune, New Jersey, he grew up under a secret worthy of noir cinema. He believed his grandparents were his parents, and his mother, June, was his older sister. That truth remained buried until 1974, when Time magazine revealed it to the world, turning his private life into the kind of revelation that only deepened his legend. At 17, Nicholson headed west to California, chasing a dream that began not on screen, but behind a drawing desk. He landed a job as an office assistant at Hanna-Barbera, sketching cartoon characters between errands. But the pull of acting was too strong to ignore. To avoid the draft, he joined the California Air National Guard, all while taking acting classes at night, scraping by in small apartments and hustling for auditions. His first major break came in The Crybaby Killer, 1958, followed by a decade of B-movies under Roger Corman, westerns, thrillers, and even screenwriting gigs like Flight to Fury and The Trip. Those lean years forged the instincts that would define his craft: a writer's precision, a director's eye, and an actor's fearlessness. Everything changed in 1969 with Easy Rider. His turn as the charming, drunken lawyer George Hansen earned him his first Oscar nomination and transformed him from journeyman to counterculture icon overnight. The 1970s were Nicholson's reign. The Last Detail, Chinatown, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest cemented him as the decade's defining actor, rebellious, complex, and magnetic. The latter brought him his first Academy Award for Best Actor in 1975. The 1980s revealed his range, from the haunted madness of The Shining, Here's Johnny, to the tenderness of Terms of Endearment, which earned him another Oscar. Whether terrorizing or touching hearts, Nicholson could do it all, and made it look effortless. Through the 1990s and 2000s, his mastery only grew. A Few Good Men, As Good as It Gets, which brought yet another Oscar, The Departed, and The Bucket List, each proved that Nicholson wasn't just acting, he was shaping the culture itself. In 2001, Moscow honored him with the Stanislavski Prize, recognizing his lifetime devotion to the art of performance. Even in semi-retirement, Nicholson remained omnipresent, making surprise appearances at Saturday Night Live's 40th anniversary and a 2025 cameo that reminded everyone the king could still command a stage at will. Off-screen, Jack built his own California trilogy, private sanctuaries that reflect his layered soul. The Fortress, Mulholland Drive, Los Angeles. Jack's main residence isn't a palace meant for show. It's a hidden fortress, pieced together over 50 years atop Mulholland Drive. He bought his first parcel in 1969, long before he was a Hollywood titan, and slowly expanded as his fame and fortune grew. In 2005, he famously purchased Marlon Brando's neighboring estate for $5 million, only to demolish it, preserving his sightlines, solitude, and peace. Now spanning 3 acres, the compound includes 4 buildings veiled by towering hedges, ancient trees, and black iron gates. Those few invited inside find not glitz but calm. A Zen pond surrounded by citrus trees and wild California flora. Inside, the home is pure Nicholson. rustic, warm, and open. Vaulted ceilings connect the living, dining, and kitchen areas in a seamless flow, where every corner whispers stories from a half-century of Hollywood history, stories that, like Jack himself, will never fade. Floor-to-ceiling windows invite in the canyon breeze, filling every corner with California light. Downstairs, 2 guest bedrooms and a media room make hosting effortless, allowing friends to stay over without disturbing the actor's privacy. Upstairs, Nicholson keeps his creative sanctuary, a private office with wraparound views and a master suite that's pure indulgence. Dual bathrooms, a deep soaking tub, and a walk-in closet large enough to house decades of Lakers jackets, tuxedos, and a few well-worn robes. Step outside, and the space transforms from retreat to resort. A shimmering pool and spa sit beside an outdoor kitchen built for alfresco gatherings, while granite-paved lounges overlook the city below. But this isn't a shrine to past glories. It's a living, breathing home. A rustic modern compound where scripts are still read, art is still rotated, and old friends still stop by for quiet dinners under the stars. Yet for all its grandeur, even the king of Hollywood needed another kind of throne, one shaped not by canyon walls, but by the open sea. Malibu Estate, eucalyptus shade and ocean air, spread across roughly 70 acres, Nicholson's Malibu Estate is the antidote to celebrity excess. Far from the glass and chrome beach houses splashed across magazines, this property feels timeless, humble in scale, yet vast in spirit. He once listed it for over $4 million in 2011, only to quietly pull it back from the market, keeping it as his private seaside hideaway, a place to disappear from the buzz of Hollywood. The single-story main residence blends California's indoor-outdoor ease with the nostalgic charm of old Hollywood. Step inside, and you're wrapped in warm wood paneling beneath vaulted, beamed ceilings. The air smells faintly of salt and cedar. In the living room, arched windows open to sweeping green views and a whisper of ocean wind. Twin fireplaces, one a solid stone anchor, the other an antique relic Nicholson rescued years ago, make the space feel more like a clubhouse for old friends than a hall of fame. At the center sits a farmhouse-style kitchen that radiates comfort. A central hearth flickers on cool mornings, while a sunny breakfast nook looks out over the trees. The kitchen spills into a cozy family room with wide doors that open to a stone terrace. Outside, a sparkling pool shimmers between manicured planters, and the garden unfurls like a private park, perfect for barbecues, quiet reflection, or late-night storytelling under eucalyptus shade. 4 bedrooms and 3 baths keep things intimate, while the master suite, with its generous walk-in closets and windows that frame the wraparound garden, offers peaceful retreat. Every space opens to nature. Hidden paths weave through towering eucalyptus, creating a seamless flow between the indoors and the wild outdoors. It's California, living at its most authentic. No flashbulbs, no spectacle, just ocean air and old Hollywood soul. A place where the man who once prowled through Chinatown and haunted The Shining can sit back, listen to the surf, and watch the light shift across the hills. Car collection, the King's Garage. Tucked inside his California sanctuaries sits a garage as eclectic and storied as Nicholson's own filmography. A trio of machines that reflect the way he moves through the world: power, elegance, and quiet confidence. First, the Mercedes-Benz 600 SWB, the short wheelbase version of the legendary Grocer, once favored by world leaders and rock stars alike. Beneath its long, commanding hood lies a silky 6.3-liter V8, delivering effortless torque to the rear wheels. Inside, hand-finished wood and acres of leather cocoon passengers in old-world luxury. Today, collectors pay upwards of $150,000 for one, but to Nicholson, it's less transportation and more time travel, a nod to an era when power didn't need to shout. Next, the Bentley Mulsanne extended wheelbase, Britain's answer to a private jet on wheels. Its extended cabin offers more than a meter of legroom, reclining massaging seats, and enough hush to read a script or strike a deal without a whisper. With over 500 horsepower from its twin-turbo V8, the Mulsanne doesn't just move. It glides with the same understated authority Nicholson has carried since Chinatown. And rounding out the collection, the Range Rover, his all-terrain workhorse. It's built for Malibu's eucalyptus-lined trails and Shasta County's winding back roads. With adaptive air suspension, a panoramic roof, and go-anywhere confidence, it's the automotive equivalent of Nicholson's later career, grounded, enduring, and effortlessly distinguished. Together, these cars tell the story of a man who's seen every version of Hollywood and still chooses to move through it on his own terms. Art collection, the $150 million gallery at home. While other stars were splurging on yachts or racehorses, Jack Nicholson was buying timeless visions of beauty. His walls read like a museum catalog, Picasso's bold geometry, Matisse's flowing color, Monet's luminous water lilies, and Degas' delicate ballet sketches. Down a quiet hallway, a Modigliani portrait gazes back with its elongated melancholy, while near a sunlit corner stands a Rodin bronze, the kind you'd expect to find in a Paris plaza, not a Los Angeles living room. In another room, a surreal Magritte hangs above the fireplace, and a rotund Botero figure anchors the far wall like a silent guest at one of Nicholson's legendary script readings. Many of these masterpieces were acquired in the 1960s and 70s, back when Nicholson was still a hungry young actor with a painter's eye and limited cash. He wasn't buying for prestige, he was buying for passion. Decades later, that same passion evolved into a collection now estimated at over 150 million. One ranked alongside the private holdings of David Bowie and David Geffen in scope, taste, and value. It's a gallery that tells his story without words. Bold, daring, deeply human, and impossible to imitate. Income and net worth. A $400 million legacy. Jack Nicholson didn't just master acting, he mastered Hollywood itself. He learned early that the real power in the business wasn't just in front of the camera, but in the fine print behind it. In 1975, he struck a revolutionary deal for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a $1 million base salary plus 15% of the film's gross. The movie became a cultural juggernaut, and Nicholson walked away with the equivalent of $60 million in today's dollars. It was a turning point, proof that betting on himself was his smartest role yet. Then came Batman, 1989. Nicholson accepted a relatively modest $6 million up front to play the Joker, but negotiated a slice of the box office, home video, and merchandising. When the film shattered records, his cut ballooned into a staggering $60 to $90 million payday, still one of the most lucrative deals in film history. His salaries alone trace the evolution of his stardom. Chinatown, $500,000. The Shining, $125 million. As Good as It Gets, $15 million. Anger Management, $20 million. The Departed, The Bucket List, $10 million each. And between blockbusters, he quietly built other income streams. He directed Drive, he said, produced the shooting, co-wrote The Trip, and invested smartly in real estate and art, each project adding to his residuals and long-term control. Those royalties still flow today as Cuckoo's Nest, Chinatown, The Shining, Batman, and A Few Good Men continue streaming for new generations. Combined with his appreciating art portfolio, selective brand partnerships, including American Express, and decades of back-end earnings, Nicholson's estimated net worth now stands around $400 million. He achieved it all without hawking sneakers, cologne, or fast food. His brand has always been himself, authentic, unfiltered, and timeless. Philanthropy, the quiet heart of a giant. Behind the big numbers and the cinematic legacy is a man who gives as quietly as he lives. Nicholson has been a longtime supporter of the Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation, one of the earliest and most impactful organizations fighting to end pediatric HIV and AIDS worldwide. Friends recall him slipping into charity dinners unannounced, sitting at the back of the room, and quietly matching pledges before slipping out again. Jack never asked for his name on a plaque, one organizer told Variety. He just asked how much the medicine would cost. He's also backed the Hole in the Wall gang camp, founded by his friend Paul Newman, which gives seriously ill children a chance to experience the joy of summer camp, to laugh, to play, and to forget hospitals for a while. Nicholson's philanthropy is like his acting, understated, genuine, and lasting. No speeches, no spotlight, just impan. Rather than merely sending a check, Jack has occasionally shown up in person, quietly visiting the camp's West Coast events, telling stories, signing autographs, and sharing laughter with kids who might never otherwise meet a movie star. Beyond children's health, Nicholson's philanthropy has reached into the fight against poverty and gender inequality through ActionAid, an organization empowering women and communities around the world. As always, there are no red carpets, no press releases, just a steady, meaningful flow of generosity. Even in Los Angeles, the city he made synonymous with his name, Nicholson has stood beside those who protect and serve. Over the years, he's joined poker nights and casino fundraisers for the Los Angeles Police Memorial Foundation, raising money for families of fallen officers. Those who've sat at his table say he treats the events not as celebrity showcases, but as friendly gatherings, chatting with rank-and-file cops, cracking jokes, and quietly matching pledges. For all his larger-than-life roles, Jack Nicholson's off-screen giving has always been small-scale, personal, and deeply human. No spotlight, just presence. That instinct for intimacy defines his private world, too. Away from the cameras, Nicholson has built a surprisingly grounded family life, one as complex, layered, and real as any of his performances. He married actress Sandra Knight in 1962, right as his career began to stir. Their daughter, Jennifer, was born the following year. By the time the couple divorced in 1968, Jack's career was taking flight, but he later admitted that success came at the cost of time. "Children give your life resonance," he reflected, "but I wasn't always there the way I wanted to be." His longest and most iconic relationship came with Anjelica Huston, a pairing of Hollywood royalty and bohemian soul that lasted from 1973 to 1990. She stood beside him through Cuckoo's Nest, The Shining, and Batman, the defining years of his reign. But like many of his characters, Nicholson's personal story came with detours. In 1998, he acknowledged Caleb Goddard, the son of actress Susan Anspach, as his own, a sign of the honesty that came with age. He would go on to father several more children, Honey Hallman in 1982, Lorraine in 1990, and Raymond in 1992, each relationship adding a new dimension to his private life. There are whispers of a fourth daughter, Tessa, born in 1994, never publicly confirmed, but privately supported. Through it all, Jack's personal life remained a blend of chaos and connection, of regret and redemption. The headlines focused on the romances, Lara Flynn Boyle, Kate Moss, Paz de la Huerta. But by his 70s, Nicholson was slowing down, trading nightclubs for canvases, courtside seats for quiet nights, watching the Lakers from his living room, and fame for fatherhood. Unlike many stars of his generation, Nicholson never remarried. Instead, he built an unconventional but loyal family circle. Ex-partners, adult children, and lifelong friends gathered under one roof during holidays at the Mulholland compound. "I've had my share of mistakes," he once said, "but my children gave me a center I didn't have in my 20s. It's a fitting image for the last king of Hollywood, the man who once reigned through chaos, now ruling over a kingdom of calm. Behind the black iron gates and towering hedges, Jack Nicholson has transformed from icon to patriarch, measuring his legacy not in Oscars or art, but in the lives he's touched, both on screen and off. And as he gradually retreats from public life, his homes, his art, and his family remain in a quiet, enduring empire. If you've enjoyed this journey inside the homes and heart of Hollywood's last king, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more legendary tours.